React, representing Georgia's 8th congressional district, Congressman Austin Scott. Congressman Scott, thank you for being with me. I want to start with these comments that we just got from Karine Jean-Pierre, the supposed emergency for more solar panels in America. The climate crisis the Biden administration is running with is an emergency, and of course it is, because they want to cram their radical green agenda through as quickly and as forcefully as possible.
Man, it's just, all I can think about is Pinocchio and how big the nose would be if that could happen. I mean, you got a president here who every move he has made has raised the cost of energy and raised the cost of groceries and the cost of housing in this country. And so he continues to push down that same path when if he wanted to help Americans, he'd back up. It's almost like it's intentional to keep pushing ahead in a direction that's damaging our country, our economy, and our people. So you know, this guy's going to Saudi Arabia to meet with them about more oil production. Saudi Arabia is part of OPEC. OPEC is a cartel. We don't need to be begging them to release oil so that we can turn around, pump oil in Saudi Arabia, ship it to the United States on a big tanker ship, burning more diesel. All we need to do is support domestic energy production, and you could see a reduction at the gas pump. But they're owned by the environmental left, and if you looked at who's providing the funds for the environmental left, I'd be willing to bet you see a lot of that money comes from overseas, from the very companies and countries we're going to end up buying the oil from because we shut down domestic energy production.
Yeah. And speaking of Saudi Arabia, the White House is defending the new strategic partnership that Biden has made with Saudi Arabia, or is in the process of making, after Biden vowed to make Saudi Arabia a pariah state. So it seems to be some contradicting thoughts coming from Biden, which is nothing new. Now, I want to get back to the gas prices because I have a clip of Senator Debbie Stabenow kind of saying the quiet part out loud. This is a typical elitist mentality. She's talking about how gas prices don't affect her. She's got an electric vehicle. Let's take a look at that.
After waiting for a long time to have enough chips in this country to finally get my electric vehicle, I got it and drove it from Michigan to here this last weekend and went by every single gas station, and didn't matter how high it was. And so I'm looking forward to the opportunity for us to move to vehicles that aren't going to be dependent on the whims of the oil companies and the international markets.
So green energy, the lack of green energy is an emergency, but gas prices aren't an emergency to these elites, Congressman, because as she just said, she's got a Tesla. She's got a fancy luxury green energy car. She doesn't have to worry about $7, $8 gas like us plebes of Americans.
Well, the sad thing is how out of touch a U.S. Senator is with what's actually happening in America. And so maybe she can afford a $60,000 or $1,000 vehicle. I don't know, but most Americans can't. Most Americans are just trying to get through the week and pay for their groceries and their gas and their mortgage or their rent. And so, you know, again, I think it shows how out of touch they are, how far they'll go to support this leftist agenda that they have. And again, they're hurting a lot of Americans. I don't understand why they don't just do the right thing for the country. Back up. Let's support domestic energy production. If we're gonna have solar panels, let's do the mining and the manufacturing here inside the United States instead of supporting China and other industries from outside of the United States.
Right. It seems like they want to export everything that would benefit America if we just did it here at home, like drilling for oil and natural gas. And even if we wanted to transition to green energy, it's not sustainable and it's not affordable. But if we did, why wouldn't we start making steps to do that here at home? They want to go to China and all these other countries to get the technology to do that. We could produce a lot of jobs making efforts for that here in the United States. Now, real quick, Congressman, we're almost out of time. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And by the way, those jobs, you know, the people that have the jobs pay taxes, right?
Right.
I mean, most Americans want to work.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And there's a huge employment gap right now. There's millions of people that are unemployed, millions of people looking for jobs. So I totally agree. Now, we're almost out of time, but I want to get your thoughts on this news that we received today about the man outside of Brett Kavanaugh's home who was arrested, reportedly had plans to kill the justice. What is your reaction to this? Because the way I see it, this should be a very good lesson learned that you don't dox Supreme Court justices. The right always gets accused of making slippery slope fallacy arguments because we said it's a bad idea for people to leak the address of justices because something like this could potentially happen. And it almost did. So we were right again.
Yeah, well, for the radical left, the ends justify the means. You're not going to see the press condemn the actions of this person that was threatening the lives of a Supreme Court justice. You're not going to see the president condemning the actions. And again, you know, just for the left, the ends justify the means. The double standard from the mainstream media is destroying this country. Americans are fed up with it. Americans want to go back to work. We need to get gas prices down. We need to get food prices down. And we need to just have a uniform standard.
Totally agree. Well, Congressman Scott, we are all out of time. Thank you so much for being with me. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you.